folks, I'm going to tell you 5 quick facts about black bull markets. Now, did you know, number 1, they're New Zealand FMA regulated. Number 2, did you know they have a copy trading service where you can either be a signal provider or copy signals? And number 3, did you know they've got over 26,000 tradable assets, including Forex, crypto, stocks, indices, and even more? And number 4, did you know they offer 500 to 1 leverage? And number 5, if you open up an account today and trade 1 lot a month, they're going to give you TradingView Pro for free. Check them out, Black Bull Markets.
Well, good morning, folks. My name is Zach. If you haven't been here, I am doing a 25K challenge here with TRADINGNUT and Blue Guardian. And today, I'll show you, I've had, well, I should say this week, I've had a drawdown week so far. You can see it kind of started right here at the end of last week, and I think had 5 in a row losers, which is never fun. So my total profit is still above my starting, but I'm not getting that kind of next breakaway away from starting balance. So that's where I'm at right now. So here, let me get my charts up and we'll go from there. Hope everybody's doing okay. I always like to see if you have if you want to share where you're from, what time it is, where you're at, that kind of thing. That's always kind of good for me to see. I like to know where everyone's at, if possible. Alrighty, here we are. All right. So you can see I trade 2 pairs, Euro USD and USD JPY. This is 15-minute chart. I was just kind of reset everything to it be kind of empty of all my previous lines and boxes and that sort of thing. So I will do, how about this? I'll do a quick overview of my system and you can kind of get a feel for it that way. So it's kind of, you probably can't read it, but up in the corner up here is the basics of the rules. So first rule is trend is verified with the moving averages. So you can see the majority of this morning so far has been the dotted line below the solid line, which is, and it's all sloping downwards. So it's not like up here, it's a little choppy. Looking for continual moving down for shorts and opposite for long. So that's just kind of a filter I use. There are no magic numbers for these MAs. They're just ones that seem to be helpful on a 1-minute time frame. So that is rule number 1, just kind of verified that it's all kind of moving in a direction, which on a 1-minute chart can be, you can get some flip-flops like this. You could start to see that as a move up for, you know, the moving averages flips, but it's too short to count as a move. It needs to start moving for a little bit of time. I've experimented with like how many candles specifically, like you can drag it across. You can see, okay, there's 70 candles. What would 100 candles look like? Is it been going down for 100 candles? You know, something like that. I haven't solidified that at all or anything. So Colombia, good morning. 8:30. That's cool. Good morning, Paula. So that's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is that there's a fair value gap left in the wake of a structure break. So what does that mean? I'll give you an example that happened, looks like earlier this morning here. So here is the gap. There. roughly. Didn't get it quite exact, but so oh, I'm sorry, I missed a step, a part of step number one. Step number one has the trend, but also a stop rate has happened. So, or liquidity grab, however you want to say it. So there's this high right here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit and go back. I realize that's a little tricky to see. There we go. Hopefully that's a little bit better. So this high right in here was what I would call, well, actually this one too, and this one were all rated by this move that popped up here. And then the move solidly moved down below the last short-term low, which is right here. And in that move, this fair value gap was left. Okay. The entry has to be 50% or greater of the move that broke structure, which with a, whoops, geez, putting too many mouse clicks here, sorry. So you can see this line right in the middle is 50%. So my entry at the minimum could be there. And on a smaller move like this, that's probably where I would put it. I have a line for a stop loss. And in the case of this trade, entry would have been right there at 50. You can see it pulls up right to the top of the gap, which is always cool to see how well these things are respected when they are. And then stop management or profit management is max 5R target. So it goes, there's 5R down there. As it reaches levels, I slide stop to break even or to the previous level. So if once it gets to 1R, I move to break even. Once it gets to 2R, move to 1R, and so on and so on. So this trade would have been a 2R win as it hit 3 and then pulled back to 2. So that is the theory of the trade in a nutshell. And as of right now, Euro USD is still in downtrend according to my quick filter, but I have not a stop rate happened yet. So for instance, this high here that I marked out with the line, if it popped up below there or above there, and then came down and gave me some sort of structure level to break, that's where I'd be looking for the entry. So let me switch over to USD JPY. Just kind of looking at the big picture, bigger picture, not the biggest picture. This is 15 minutes. No, it's not. This is one. There's 15 minutes. I had it on 15. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll look at the bigger picture and see if basically the same setup is happening on a different time frame, which is kind of helpful because it'll give me a little bit more of a picture. My whole shouldn't say my hope. Yeah, well, my hope with this strategy that I'm testing and working on here is to be able to do it with just looking at the 1 minute chart and not have to switch and do long amounts of analysis and that sort of stuff. So here's 1 minute chart for USD JPY. Could be helpful. Take a second and look to see if there's anything else on this one that would have been an entry for me. Just had to repopulate my news events there. so choppy yesterday. So it's pretty choppy, but this could be an example of a loser trade right here. This move right here being a stop rate of this level, and even that level here, creating a move up that breaks structure, leaves a couple gaps in that at least 50%, and then just slams through with the news release. I don't think I would have traded that, but that would be an example of an entry. So you can see this as a raid. This is a better raid line to me. And then something I constantly struggle with and have to be careful about is this type of thing here. So without moving average lines as my filter, this line would look like a short side raid, especially if it gets a move back down below here. But can't take it short because it's on the wrong side of the trend filter. So let's get back to looking at both here. And if there's no real moves to be getting ready for, which I guess this technically is here. Not really an ideal location in terms of bigger picture. So if this has an opportunity to get back into one of these gaps down here at this point, it has to be below 50%. Fair value gap left in its wake. Kind of a double gap there. Let's see. Anyone got any trades going this morning already or this afternoon? Let's see. No. 8:32. Yeah. Anyone got anything going already this trading day? Whatever it is for you, morning or afternoon. Corey, I have I looked at the silver bullet when he first put that video out, and haven't given it a whole lot of thought at this point. I know it seemed like a pretty neat idea. I have some notes even in my book about it, but is not active. Not for this trade strategy, at least. I'm trying to keep this video as this challenge, doing this more rigid system, so that I don't. My tendency in the past has been to change strategies often for the sake of feeling like I was doing something wrong, I'm not doing the right strategy, and need to change to do something else. And to be honest, I want to say I'm struggling with wanting to change strategy and maybe want to add stuff in right now because of a string of losses that make me feel a little discouraged. So the psychology aspect is something that is kind of my main priority during this challenge, is learning to follow my rules and not change them just for the sake of a feeling, an emotion, but rather trade based on a system I have tested and allows me to not be emotional about it. So anyways, I did put in a limit order, buy limit for long down at the top of this lowest gap here. These are challenging for me because I would like to see this move down lower. I think that it very well may, but since it is set up within the system, part of my testing is that it tests, all of the options throughout the day. And so if I cherry pick based on when the setup forms, when I like it better, when I don't like it better, then I quite likely will miss opportunities that create profit. So even though what would I call it? My gut, even though it feels like this is probably gonna move lower, I'm still gonna take the long trade if it triggers. So we'll see how that goes. Here it comes. Just got triggered in. I just realized my little arrows aren't on. There you go. So Corey, Germany's cool. I just had a friend visiting Germany, and his wife's family's from there, and they got to go spend a bunch of time there. So we got to see pictures and stuff. Where to start, man? I think well, I think for ICT wise, he's got a couple playlists for beginners, beginner introduction to forex type stuff, and some of the strategies. And let me see if I can find out what that's called here just a second. But it's the thing with ICT is you have to give it enough time to get concepts and ideas. Like it's almost like you need a glossary or something, because he kind of quickly goes over ideas that are like almost like teasers if you don't know what he's talking about. So you kind of have to watch enough videos to know what it is that he's talking about, which is kind of, I don't know, you may think that's frustrating, but I think I'm trying to find it here. So there's one called ICT Forex Scout Sniper Basic Field Guide Series. As well as one called What Every New and or Aspiring Forex Trader Wants. And those are in his playlist, his active playlist. So there's a handful of ones that are a few years old that are kind of intro type videos. So and you can go from there. But what I found is that I jumped around quite a bit watching through some of the yearly lecture series and then going back and forth, and I think it now makes more sense. I'm currently going through the 2022 series. What did I just do? Just deleted my indicator. I'm just going to reset my template. This is USD. All right, so once I have a position going, then I use this tool to find my management level, since the entry is not always exactly at the 50% line of the original fib tool. So as soon as it gets up to one R here, then I'll slide up to break even. This one's, it's nice to see a couple candles at least move in my direction right away. But again, part of the reason I'm trading this style and this kind of rigid strategy is because my mindset is one that's like, oh, got some profit, got to get out of here, got to close this out, keep it. But that does keep me from the opportunity of getting some of the bigger targets. Whoa. But Corey, another answer to your question, just when you're new, just be patient. Don't try to rush it. That's been one of my biggest downfalls, is feeling like I need to do something in a certain amount of time. It always gets me feeling like I need to trade more or increase my risk, or those kind of things. And so if you can keep the mindset of, I'm new, I'm learning, go slow, and don't be so proud that that you think you can do it on your own, those kind of things. It's just it's there's a lot of people out there that are really good at what they do, both in terms of teaching trading, but also in terms of just having a personality that's gets people to want to buy their courses and stuff. So it's one of the things I appreciate about ICT so much, is kind of no BS, and he's not doing it for the money, but to share what he's learned and to teach people. And I teach people in not a trading sense, but in a physical training sense, and I know how rewarding that can be. So yeah, I understand it. I did just slide to break even as it climbed up over the 1 hour mark. So now we have a no risk trade at this point. It's pretty close though. I think it's 13 pips, but I guess pips don't really matter. My entry is based on distance anyway, so it's just kind of how it looks on the chart. Let's see. Oh, H4 getting out there. So I'm setting up here for short on the USD. Just a sec here. Okay, so I got my order in. You can see this move popped up above short-term high. Consider it a raid. Drops and it drops down below structure here. Fair value gap left in the wake as it breaks, and order is at 50% or greater. So we'll see if that triggers in. USD JPY is just kind of waiting to do something. It's a little bit of consolidation. So while I'm waiting here for any of this to happen, I've been starting to test out this same strategy on Aussie USD. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the stream if you're just showing up there, Valve. Got one trade running right now. It is a long on USD JPY right here. It's kind of hard to see the entry line, but it's right underneath the stop line, the red stop line there. So there, a little blue arrow. You can see entry there. I do really like it when entry is like the bottom of a wick on like the last down close candle. That always makes me feel happy. And I know I'm trying to avoid emotions, but that is a cool feeling when you get to enter on a down close candle and it's like, what is that? 1 pip drawdown once it was in. So, all right. So this order here that I placed on Euro USD is going to get canceled because there's a new break in the structure. So I'm going to pull that out and wait for something new. So you can see it pulled up, made a short-term high, and then dropped back below. So there's a new gap left there. Interesting. So yeah, a quick trade. Actually, I'm gonna give it a bit more room up above the old fair value gap, just to give it enough to get what am I trying to say? Give it some room. You can see my stop loss. My rules are for stop loss minimum. I can choose to make it bigger if I'd like. So rather than having it right here, way like half the distance it is now, I'm giving it above the gap just to give it a little bit more time, a little bit more room. I'm sorry. We're almost 2R up there. Let's see if there's anything that's going to give me a reach in terms of higher time frame. Here we go. So I see a reach opportunity into this 4-hour fair value gap. That even could be the daily gap has already been reached. But there's a little top up here. This is short-term high. So we'll start looking at it like that. Ooh, look at that, got within a point or two before it moved back down. So not quite entered on this this guy on the left here. It'll be canceled order. So you can't, what I do sometimes look at is alternate, like slightly higher time frames. So you can see like a 2-minute chart gives you a little bit of a, oh, look at that, we got 2R. Nice. Which means I'm gonna drop up to 1R stop loss. Drop up. That's not the right word. I'm gonna raise my stop loss to 1R. So that's a 1R, which for me is a 1/5% of the account size. Ends up being about $50. I do oftentimes have to battle myself in terms of taking 2R instead of 3R, instead of waiting for the possibility for going further. It's hard for me. I like to battle myself in those ways. It's tricky. Becomes order block here. Oops. Yeah, to straighten it out. Oh, what I was saying earlier is I will be been testing out. Let's see, I'm gonna change the background here. Make sure I know this one's different. All right, so this is a back testing. Ooh, that's kind of nasty. Just do a little darker. There we go. That's pretty good. So I got to find out where I was at. Hopefully it didn't get all lost here. This is Aussie USD. This is the next one I've been testing to consider bringing into daily trading opportunities. That's kind of a cool move there. Huh. Say side or something. Oh, I know what I can do. I've got Fibo. 6, 7. Let's see, what's the format? 7, 20, 23, 06, 07. Is that right? No, it's 706. 2023 0706. Probably could have just scrolled there, but where is it? Still July. Did it backwards again. Sorry, this is probably not fun to look at here. I'm just trying to get to my spot where there we go. You can see my old fib testers here. Cool. All right, so getting a little bit of a pullback here. It's something that I don't like as well as looking at where the level is that I have to slide my stop to. So where it's like right in the middle of a level that could be seen as support, and then I just have to hope it doesn't come back there. Oh well. All right, so let me bust out this guy here, see if we can find a couple trades, theoretical trades, backtesting trades. Remember. So this is the same test strategy here. So gotta look for a stop raid right here, break of structure with a gap. There's one. Let's see what would have happened. Oh, where'd you go? There we go. So you can see the gap would have entered there right at 50%. So gets up to 1R over here and then pulls back into entry, which would be a break even. I am recording time, so 16:03 to see at what point during the day the most trades trigger and are winners. Stop raid. Not really a convincing move up though here. There's a raid and a break, but then new structure, so no entry there. So you can see it starts to get choppy in here. So this is why I like to wait for a, you can see this is only 19 candles for this crossover here where it starts to move lower, but doesn't quite get enough. So to me, I actually see that as potentially continuing long. So if there's a good setup that was brought the moving average, like if there's a setup as soon as it came back across, then I would consider that. But for the most part, that's not going to fly there. Could be a raid, doesn't quite go. This is a raid here. Doesn't break structure as it moves down though. This would be the level to break right here. It doesn't do that, so it comes up. This one breaks the structure. You can still use this raid here. So this is not fair value. That's a different kind of gap there. I can't remember the term. When it's body to body, imbalance gap, or I can't remember. I don't know. And then there is fair value gap right here too. But you can see as it makes the move lower, makes a gap, but without putting, it puts in too much structure here. So I would have canceled the order in here somewhere. And it wouldn't have had an opportunity to get here before I canceled it. So this would not be an entry. But there's another raid right here with a big move down. So that's possible entry. Let's see. Let's see what happens. If you're just jumping in on the stream this morning, I'm actually not on an active chart here. This is just when I'm backtesting while I'm waiting for current trade to get to the next level, as well as form new setups on the charts that I do trade. So, all right, so nice big gap here. So above 50%, I'll usually put entry at the bottom of the gap. So like that. And get in, it doesn't hit stop there. Does come to 1R over here. And then looks like it pulls back into break even. So another zero there. This happened at 2110. So this is the super glorious world of backtesting. Not super exciting. So this will probably be a loss here. Yeah, that's a loss there. You can see it's because they rated out this high, rated down with the gap. Entry would have been right around there somewhere. That's hard to tell. I'm gonna call it a loss because on my backtesting I try to be favorable in the losing direction, so that I'm not getting my hopes up. 208. And looks like there'd be another loss right here, actually. That's a stop up. And then it gets to the end of the day, end of the session, beginning of the session. My testing starts at 3, somewhere around here. Let's go take a second and check in on the trade that's running. Look at that, moved down. Almost got a part of that. And a little order I had set up there, remember, I didn't quite make it back up in this green candle. But you can see idea validated. The order block. So let's see, open candle 9506, and the high of this is probably exactly the same 9506. So that's cool. That's a ICT concept that I'm learning. Not going to try to teach anyone, but something that I'm learning to monitor, like to kind of keep an eye on. So let's see, what is this news that's coming up? Refinery utilization rate. Sounds exciting. I filter out my trades or my calendar events on Forex Factory just to be the ones that are meaningful, orange or red calendar items. All right, we'll get a little bit more of a move up again. I'm going to do this since I'm back testing. Is I'm going to put an alert. Why can't? Oh, that's because that's there. Still. There we go. That way I can keep back testing and know if it gets to the next level. Try to get in here too. Didn't quite get it to entry. So, but again, it's just always nice to know you validated idea. So here's 3 o'clock. Back to testing. There's a loss right there. I would have seen that. Low, broken with a wick, gapped in the little break here. Mini entry. They're super like quick trades if they fail, and usually if they're this small of a scale, they're pretty quick if they go as well. So this is, call it 3058. Another loss. So far on Aussie USD, I am 20 backtest trades in with a total of 3R gained. Excuse me. Choppy, choppy, choppy. Okay, so it starts moving, trending. A little bit of a raid there, but no entry. Could look at this move here. Too much mini structure in here though, probably for to keep the order open. Now this one though, I would have seen that, which is another loss. You can see right here, this top here breaks out over this high and this high, and then slams down below low with a gap. It's a small move, it looks like here. Let's see. Yeah, it's like three pips. So at some point I have to decide if I'm going to keep testing and taking those ones, because you have to use a big position to have the right risk, and so it's higher commission. So I don't know if it's worth it at this point. So What time did I say that was? 6:03. This one doesn't break above any level over there. Does that give me an entry? Looks like it doesn't get to 50% here. Let's see. Come on. Yeah, we don't get a pullback enough to get into a trade there. Be nice if it was. Can I trade gold? No. That's a pretty simple answer for me. I don't trade gold. I know there's a lot of people that trade gold and silver and whatever. I don't do it. Let's see. I don't think we quite get the entry. Whoa, maybe. Look at that. That's a close one. I'm gonna call it an entry based on the gap right here. It's pretty close. I'm not certain that it actually would get in, but I'm gonna take it. So it hits up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. So that's like best case scenario. What time is that at? 10:25. London session. It's tricky too because it's like you can see how just barely it broke. It broke this level to create criteria for the entry. So it's good for me to see these kind of setups because they're not the easy to see kind, but they're because the price actually moves below the moving averages. Barely breaks up in terms of structure, but it does break, but it's a quick move up. What's the size here? Yeah, still pretty small. So here's read, break, another one here. Let's see. Top of the gap would be this gap. Adjust it to be more accurate. Go. Entries at 1300. Up to, let's see, so entries here. 1, 2, 3, back to 2. So that's pretty cool. Got a handful of winners on this setup here. So after the raid, so this is, I may have been forgetting to do this here. Once it raids and you keep getting structure breaks, then I can keep doing possible trades. So 50% entry there gets to 1, 2 before coming back. $13.10. No gap. Okay, kind of flopping over here. It's a short side. Whew. Euro USD just got slammed this morning. Well, for me at least, it's slammed. That would have been a 5R probably if I had gotten that entry I wanted. This one, yeah, is right here. Yeah, look at that. That would have been so quick. So nice. But my entry was at the just a tiny bit of the wrong spot. It was in this rectangle, in the gray rectangle instead of the red line. Nice move down. Although that's where it kind of stinks here. Oh no, I guess oh yeah, that would have stopped out at break even. Never mind. Oh well, gotta keep learning. All right, well I'm gonna be here for a couple more minutes. So backtesting is really nice because it gives you experience looking objectively at your setup. Um, so it takes some time, but it's definitely worth it to not be thinking you have a new strategy and then just jumping in, going for it, and then kind of losing some money. So um, so for instance, depending on, if I had only back tested this one day and I had, 12 hour in the Aussie USD, I'd be like, oh, Aussie's gonna be great. But as you go over date ranges, bigger date ranges, I usually do 100 trades for a simple back test. As you go over that, you'll see it smooth out and average change a little bit to usually not be so favorable. So it can be really hard to not cherry pick the ones, like, because you can see what's going on over here too if you're not careful. So like to consider while you're back testing, just making sure that you don't uh, don't consider what's going on over here. You can even, like, MetaTrader, I think there's a button. Oh, I have it hidden. There's a button that just allows you to kind of go a little bit at a time, which could be helpful. Um, I'm fine with back testing and not cherry picking. So, all right, so this one's comes in at 1947 at break even. There's a loss there. This move, you see, it gets up to 50%. There's gaps here, and then it goes up. So, well, let me just double check the stop range. Wouldn't give me some. Look at that, just barely. Right here, you can see it just barely goes over stop before it moves down. But it's okay. It wouldn't have gotten to 1R either. So that's a loss. 432. Nice one. Well, a little bit of at least we had one trade this morning to talk about. Still going. I do have to get out of here. I'm gonna keep monitoring it as the morning goes on for me. But until next time, thanks for hanging out. I know I'm not like a super exciting trading person to watch. Part of it is that I do want to kind of keep it simple and rules based, and not be exciting because I'm doing crazy stuff. So I really want to complete this challenge. This would be a turning point for me in my trading journey. So I am being careful. I'm following my rules, and it's proved plenty of challenges for me already to consider the things the things that I typically will think about during trading, and my psychology aspect. And so it's it's good for me to speak them out loud. So it looks like USD JPY is going to make a break for my stop loss here as we depart for the day. Do have a little bit of an order block here, but I don't think that's going to give enough protection. That's not it. There. Is there anything on the 5-minute that will give me protection? Not really. So this will probably be a 1-hour win, which is fine with me because I need to follow my rules. That was in my recap last week. That was my highlight, was following my rules for a break-even trade. But that's what I gotta do. So until next time, you guys, farewell. Thanks, Cam, Trading Nut, and thank you, Blue Guardian, for the opportunity here. So see y'all.